Dear students, welcome back. Very good morning. Today we are going to start a new chapter. As you already know that in maths we have already covered 3 chapters. First, we covered algebraic expression. That was one huge chapter from your textbook. Then we have covered one another chapter, that was chapter number 2. That is power and exponent. Then we covered chapter number 3. That was square, square root, cube and cube roots. Okay. So we are able to cover already 3 chapters. Now today our target is to start a new chapter, that is chapter number 1. Chapter number 1, the title, as you know, it is rational numbers. If many of you might have purchased textbook, and if you do not have textbook, we are sending the PDF so that you can verify. Index is also sent to you. Okay. Chapter number 1, which we are starting today, that is rational number. Actually, we can divide this particular chapter, not such a big chapter rational number is, but as far as study is concerned, we can divide this particular chapter into, suppose we can say, 4 parts. Generally, though it happens, suppose, how can we divide this particular chapter into 4 parts? Understand? Ultimately, if we discuss that way, though I can say that we can divide this particular chapter into 5 parts. 5th part we will discuss, that is regarding, as I every time tell you, that is regarding some of the difficult short questions, some of the difficult MCQs, which actually demands live discussion. That requires, because those short question and MCQ require some in detail live discussion with the student in the classroom. That's why in every chapter somewhere we are leaving some short topics which I want to be available for us for live discussion when we meet again. Understood? Today, let us just first write the title of the chapter. Okay? The chapter number 1, that is rational number. Okay? Chapter number 1, that is rational numbers. And today I welcome you in our lecture number 1, okay, regarding this particular chapter. lecture number 1 today in the chapter rational number. First, my dear student, I just want to give a little hint of how can we divide this chapter into 4 parts, 5 parts, and how are we going to discuss about this particular chapter. Just try to understand. If we just divide it into 5 parts, the first part, that is examples related to addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of rational number. I am just writing that. First part will be examples of addition, okay my dear student, addition, subtraction, okay, multiplication, right, and division. This is the first part you can say, okay. This is the first part which we are going to discuss as far as rational number is concerned. Understand, no doubt, regarding addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, you might have studied a bit in your previous standard also. So it may happen that this may occurs solely revision and practice for you. You might have solved examples regarding addition, subtraction, division and multiplication of rational number. That is what we are going to discuss in first part of this particular chapter. Then we will discuss about representation. This would be our next topic, representation on number line, okay. That is what we are going to discuss next part, representation of rational number on number line. That is what we will discuss in detail. You may have covered this topic in previous standard, but still may it happen that you may not be conceptually clear about this. So that's why we will discuss it in detail. Then the third part, that we will discuss the examples of finding rational numbers between two rational numbers. That is what we will discuss. That will be our third part. We will discuss how to find rational numbers between two given rational number. It is a topic like you will be given two rational numbers. You have to find between these two rational number, demanded rational number, maybe 5, 6, 7, whatever. So that will be the third section in this particular chapter, that is finding rational numbers between two rational numbers. Okay, I have written it here, and when we will discuss the topic in detail, you will get the idea about that. And then, my dear student, we can say the fourth part in this chapter, that is word problems. Okay, word problems based on rational number. Word problems we will discuss. Okay, that would be the fifth one, that is discussion. I can summarize it as short questions. Okay, that may be we will discuss this particular topic. As I told you in my every lecture, some of the topic we are going to discuss particularly in classroom. Okay, when we meet in classroom, we will discuss the last section of this particular chapter. So you understood, we have divided this particular chapter, rational number, into four sections. First, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of rational number. The second part, representing rational number on number line. Third part, finding rational number between two rational numbers. Fourth part, we will discuss in detail about word problems, and then we will discuss about short questions. So this way we will divide this chapter into 5 parts. Okay, let us start our discussion today regarding rational number first. Actually, why I want to explain you the meaning of rational number, what could be the reason? Understand, because why we want to understand the meaning of rational number in detail? Because when you go in higher standard, that is when you move to 9th and 10th standard, you will have a chapter maybe under the title real number or number system. At that time, when you discuss about real number, you must be knowing what comes under the title of real number, because just we talk of 9th and 10th standard real number or maybe number system, but when you go to 11 and 12, at that time you will also study about imaginary numbers. So at that time, your basic concept has to be quite clear. That's very important. If your basic concept is not clear, understand, then it might happen that it can cause some problem in understanding the examples of real numbers and imaginary numbers later on. That's why your concept has to be very clear. Suppose, my dear student, I write one title here, real numbers. Just try to understand. I write one title here, real numbers. Okay. question may arise in our mind that what comes in real number, you already know that real number set is known by R, that you might be knowing. The question is what comes under real numbers actually. So just try to understand under real number, if I just write two words here, what comes under a real number? So first I will write the title of your chapter, rational numbers. All rational numbers are undoubtedly real numbers. And second, if I write the title, that is irrational number. Okay. So that's why, my dear student, we will just try to understand the difference between rational number and irrational number. Meaning समझिए ना, when we try to understand the meaning of rational number and irrational number, you have to be conceptually very strong and clear regarding the concept. You might have studied in previous standards somewhere definition of rational number, if you can recall in your mind. Can anybody recall in his mind what is actually the definition of rational number? So you might have learned some definition of this sort. What could be the definition? So you might have studied any number which can be expressed in the format. I am not writing the whole definition, just the format. P upon Q, A upon B, whatever, that doesn't matter. What definition you must have studied in previous standard? You must have studied like this: any number which can be expressed in the format of A upon B or P upon Q. I have intentionally written P upon Q, numerator upon denominator. So any number which can be expressed in the format of P upon Q is known as rational number. Then what is the meaning of irrational number? So any number which cannot be expressed in the format of P upon Q are called irrational number. Okay. The question may arise in our mind that which number can be called rational number. Just let us summarize, my dear student. 1. See, if I write, if you write any positive number, suppose I write 5. So is 5 a rational number? Definitely 5 can be written as 5 upon 1. So it is already a rational number. Understand? So any positive number is a rational number. You understood? Positive number means, to be more specific, you can say, here let us not utilize the word natural number. Let us utilize the word all integers, either positive, negative or 0. Understand? All integers, my dear students. Suppose I write -3, it is integer. Can I write -3 as minus 3 upon 1, definitely. That means what? All integer, 0 to obviously 0 can be written as 0 upon anything you can write, ultimately to zeros. So what is this first row I have written here suggest? We are talking of just now only rational, not irrational. Any positive integer means all integer, positive, negative and 0. Positive integer, negative integer, 0. To summarize this, you can say that all integers are rational numbers. Is it clear in your mind what I told? All integers are rational numbers. Clear? Second, let us take. Just try to understand. All integers are rational number. Then, my dear students, suppose I write this way, 3 upon 5. But that obviously in the format of already rational number. So what can you say? This is fractional number, you know. So any fractional number is also coming under the category of rational number. Any fractional number, okay. Suppose third one. If I write one decimal number here, suppose 3.7, can you consider any decimal fraction a rational number? Definitely. Why not? Because the same number 3.7 can be written as 37 upon 2, format of P upon Q. So any integers, any fractionals, any decimal fractionals, all are rational number. To be more specific, let us take one more. Suppose, my dear student, I write this way, under root 25 I have written, see. I have written under root 25. Now the question arises in our mind is under root 25 a rational number? My dear student, you know one thing? Under root 25 means you have to take square root of 25, that is obviously 5. You know the answer of this? Under root 25, that means equal to 5. Now when you write equal to 5, you can write it as 5 upon 1. So how will you summarize this? Why 25, under root 25 is a rational number? Because its square root is possible, which can be expressed in the format of P upon Q. Why you are able to take out the square root of 25? Because 25 is a perfect square number. Means those number whose square root can be taken out, means those numbers which are perfect square number are obviously all rational number. Similarly, my dear student, we can quote, okay. Suppose, I am not writing here now, let us write it here, okay. Just concentrate here. Suppose fifth category. Suppose I write this way, cube root 27, suppose. My dear student, do you know 27, what is the cube root of 27? That is 3. And 3 can be expressed as 3 upon 1. Why we could found, or we are able to find the cube root of 27? Because 27 is already a perfect cube numbers. Understand? So my dear student, let us first summarize which can be called, because I want to make meaning of irrational number clear in your mind. This is what my target is, that when you are studying the chapter under the title rational number, you should be well aware regarding what can be called irrational number. That also you must be very clear. So what are included in rational number? Just let us summarize. All integers, that means positive, negative or 0. All integers, all fractional numbers, all decimal fractions, all perfect square numbers, all perfect cubes, all are coming under the category of rational number. Then question may arise in our mind, then what can be called irrational number? Why we are making the meaning of irrational number clear in your mind? Because when you go in 9th standard, you will have to represent, see one topic I have written, representation on number line. That means representation of rational number on the number line. But when you go in 9th standard, you will have to do the topic of representation of irrational number on the number line. So at that time your mind has to be very, very clear regarding what can be called irrational number. You should be very sure about that. Suppose, my dear student, I am just writing here, I am just blocking it so that you can understand it. What can be called irrational number? Okay. Suppose, my dear student, I write one number here, suppose under root 3, or I write this way, cube root of suppose 11. I have just written two numbers here for your understanding. Cube root of 3 or square root of 3, cube root of 11. Can you express this number in the format of P upon Q? Never possible, because 3 which you have written in under root sign cannot come out as an integer like under root 25 as 5, because 3 is not a perfect square number. That's why it is irrational number. Cube root 11, like we could be able to express cube root 27 as 3 and then 3 as obviously 3 upon 1, but that was possible because 27 is a perfect cube number. Is it the case with a cube root of 11? Never. Cube root of 11 is not possible, means you cannot take it out or this number out from this sign, because 11 is not perfect cube number. What I told you, not perfect cube number. So one thing is clear in your mind? What is that? Those numbers which are not perfect square. Try to understand. Not perfect square. Those numbers which are not perfect squares or cubes. Just understand this word. Those numbers which are not perfect squares, not perfect cube, are all included in the category of irrational number. You understood this? So if you sum up rational and irrational, everything comes under the title real number. Real number means sum up of two type of number, rational, irrational. What comes in rational you all know. Understand what I have just explained you? All integers, all fractional numbers, all decimal fractions, all perfect square numbers, all perfect cube number, all are coming under the category of, or all can be termed as rational number. And those number which are not perfect square or not perfect cube are coming under the category of what? Category of irrational number. When you go in 9th standard, you will understand how to represent under root 3 on number line. At that time, your mindset has to be very clear. Suppose I just speak out under root 7. So square root is not possible, so under root 7 is an irrational number. Suppose I speak fourth root of 15, not possible, that is also irrational number. So this is conceptualization of the topic which we are going to study in this chapter. Your mind has to be very clear regarding which are called rational number and which are called irrational number. Is it clear? Okay. Now my dear student, after understanding this detail about rational and no doubt we are not going, this is why I made the meaning clear in your mind, because you will study about irrational number. Understand, all topic you will study representation of irrational number on number line, finding irrational number between two irrational number. Then you will study addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of irrational number. That you will study in detail in 9th standard. That's why the meaning has to be sharp, crystal clear in your mind regarding rational and irrational number. Okay. Now my dear student, we understood in this lecture the meaning of rational and irrational number. Now we are starting the first section of this topic, that is examples of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. All type of example we will practice one by one, okay, so that thing becomes clear in your mind, okay. So first section I have written, see what comes under section 1, what comes under section 2, what comes under section 3, that everything I have written. So just now we are going to practice section 1 in this particular chapter. I will just write section 1. You are able to understand what is the meaning of section 1? That is examples regarding addition, multiplication, division, subtraction, etc. Okay. So in this section 1, we are going to practice some examples based on addition, subtraction, understand, multiplication and division. Actually, this all example involves simply the simple process of only what? So that's a simple process of how to take LCM, that is important. Okay. So my dear student, let us do one thing. Let us take one simple example first so that every student can catch it. Okay. First example, let me write here. What will be the title in this type of example? Obviously, the title will be the general title, simplify. This is the title, okay? Simplify, that can be the general title when we solve this type of example. Suppose we take one example, okay? Suppose I write 4 upon 3, just write it, plus 3 upon 5, okay. Then move ahead, plus minus 2 upon 3, okay, plus minus 11 upon 5. Suppose this is the example given to you and we have to solve it. How can we move ahead, my dear student? Not so complicated example itself. What we have to do is this. Suppose, what is the example? Let me write again. It is just write with me, let us solve it. Plus 3 upon 5. Now here, my dear student, plus minus, minus 2 upon 3, plus minus 11 upon 5. See, wherever there is double sign follows, before we start the sum, you need to solve those double sign. That's important for you. You might have done this type of examples in previous standard also. Now, my dear student, it's a question of equalizing denominator. And for equalizing denominator, as we have done in algebraic equation, if you can remember, or algebraic expression, those examples of linear equation which I explained in lecture 18 and 19 somewhere, 17, 18 if you can see. We have to take LCM here. So to equalize the denominator, what is the LCM of 3 and 5? 15, my dear student. You all know that. How to find LCM, that 8th standard student doesn't need to be taught, because how to find LCM we all know. And we have practiced it also more and more in our those lecture number 17 and 18 in algebraic expression, as you know. LCM is 15. Those students, though the topic has been covered in previous standard, but those students who have a little confusion or speculation regarding this, please clear with me. LCM is 15 we have taken. Now, my dear student, here in denominator you have to bring 15 everywhere. 3 how many ja 15? 5 ja. Chalo, let us multiply. 3 5 ja 5 is also multiplied here, plus here is 5. 5 how many ja 15? 3 ja. So here also you have to multiply 3 minus 3 how many ja 15? 5 ja. Here also you have to multiply 5 minus 5 how many ja 15? 3 ja. You also multiply 3 here. Now the next step, that is 4 5 ja 20 upon 15 plus 3 3 ja 9 upon 15 minus 2 5 ja 10 upon 15 minus 33 upon 15, common denominator. So you have to write it just once only. So you have to write this way. Now collection of numerator, 20 plus 9 minus 10 minus 33 whole upon 15. You understood this? Now it's a question of, now my dear student, here I have seen student making minor mistakes when they solve. Example, because when you have to perform 3 to 4 addition subtraction together, there might be the chances of making some mistakes. I am giving you the guideline today. Even you come, here only you have to solve 4 number, but you come across 10 numbers at a time, then how you should concentrate here? You may be taught at this, then this, then this, but we are not moving that way. Okay, so here just try to understand how many numbers you have to add or subtract. 4 number. First, my dear student, find the number having positive sign. This is nothing means plus, plus. So these 2 number are with positive sign. So just add 20 plus 9, 29. Try to understand this. These 2 are negative number, also add them and put minus sign, minus 43 upon 15. Now I will continue here, just try to understand. This is clear in your mind first. What we have done, positive number added, negative number added and negative sign. Now it became quite simple. Suppose you are given, we will solve such example also in next lecture. Suppose you are given at a time 7 to 8 number, some positive, some negative. At that time, don't go for solving 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 that way. No, the process is all positive number to be added, write it. All negative number to be added with minus sign, write it. So even in front of you there are 7 number, it reduced to just 2 number only. 1 positive, that is addition of all positive number. 1 negative, that is addition of all negative number. This is clear? 20 plus 9, 29 minus 43. Now it became quite simple, my dear student. Plus, minus, minus. So 43 minus 29. Can you guess? 29, orally you can say 29 plus 1, that is 30, 40. Okay, that is 14 is the answer. But now the sign of greater number, as you all know. So minus 14, okay, upon 15, no cancellation is possible. So this is the answer. You understood this? Is it clear in your mind what I no doubt? We will practice some such more example, but I want whenever such situation arises, okay, LCM taken, accordingly multiplied, then collection of numerator and common denominator just once. Here, my dear student, you should not feel confused any time. You have to just positive added minus negative added, all number reduced to just two number, one positive, one negative, plus minus minus, you can get the answer. Is it clear? So my dear student, one more thing. In today's lecture, what we have done, so in today's lecture, we explain you the meaning of rational number, at the same time irrational number. Not only we gave you idea about the concept of which can be called rational and which can be called irrational number, but at the same time we also gave you an idea. We started our section number 1 solving example of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and we solved one example here. First you have a look at this sum, okay? Are you able to understand this, right? So my dear student, in our next lecture, we will continue our section 1 only, and we will solve some other example, difficult one, based on addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, my dear student, thank you very much from Bharat sir.